Ferrari's 2025 Formula One campaign has just taken yet another chaotic turn, and this time it's Lewis Hamilton who's thrown a wrench into the already turbulent machinery at Maranello. After weeks of whispered gossip in the paddock, underwhelming on-track performances, and a growing sense of disarray behind the scenes, the seven-time world champion has broken his silence with a statement that could send shockwaves through the heart of the Scuderia. What he revealed wasn't just about mechanics or setup issues. It was something far more alarming. Hamilton's carefully chosen words peeled back a layer of secrecy that few had dared to even hint at publicly, a growing internal imbalance within the Ferrari garage. And for a team already staggering under the weight of sky-high expectations and subpar results, the timing of this revelation couldn't possibly be worse. So, what exactly did Lewis say? How deep does this issue go? And could this be the real reason Ferrari have stumbled so badly out of the gate in 2025? Stick around, because what you're about to discover might completely transform the way you view what's unfolding inside the walls of Ferrari's iconic red headquarters. And hey, before we get into the thick of it, if you haven't already, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single twist in the ever-evolving drama of Formula One. Now, let's dive into what might be the most revealing moment of Ferrari's season so far. Following a rocky start to his much-hyped journey with the prancing horse, many believed Hamilton's presence would serve as a stabilizing force, a calming veteran influence capable of steering the Italian squad back toward competitiveness. But just 3 races into the 2025 season, that hope seems to be slipping through Ferrari's fingers. After the Japanese Grand Prix, Hamilton made a statement that sent immediate shockwaves rippling across the paddock. And make no mistake, this wasn't some emotional outburst or vague frustration. This was a calculated, deliberate message. There's a bit of a shortfall on one side of the garage involving a particular element of the car, Hamilton said. On my side, there's something that just isn't delivering to the level we need. On the surface, it may sound technical, but in the coded language of Formula One, that's an explosion. He wasn't just talking about a minor performance issue. He was publicly hinting that something on his side of the garage, some crucial component or system, is underperforming, and perhaps more critically, that this issue doesn't appear to be affecting his teammate, Charles Leclerc. Let that sink in. In a sport where absolute parity between teammates is not just expected, but foundational to trust, confidence, and results, what Hamilton is implying is incendiary. He's not outright accusing the team of favoritism, but he's cracking the door wide open for speculation. The idea that 2 cars under the same roof, supposedly receiving identical upgrades, setups, and attention, could be operating under vastly different conditions is a nightmare scenario for any top-tier team. And for a driver of Hamilton's stature to voice that concern out loud, even obliquely, suggests a level of discontent that should have Ferrari's leadership deeply concerned. Is there a structural imbalance in resources? Are certain engineers or mechanics prioritizing one side of the garage over the other? Or could it be that Hamilton is being sidelined, either unintentionally or otherwise, during his transition into the team? Whatever the answer, this revelation puts Ferrari under a microscope. And for a squad already desperate to claw back credibility after years of inconsistency, this could be a devastating blow. More importantly, it challenges the very notion that Ferrari's problems are purely technical. If the issue is political, if there's friction, division, or mistrust brewing internally, then no amount of new parts or updated floor designs will fix what's broken. And here's the kicker. Lewis Hamilton doesn't speak out like this unless he wants to send a message. He's been in this game too long to let something slip by accident. This was intentional. Strategic. A signal to the outside world that all is not well within Ferrari's walls. So, what happens next? Will Ferrari publicly address the issue? Will Leclerc respond? Will Hamilton continue to push the boundaries of what he reveals? One thing's for certain, the cracks are no longer invisible. And if Ferrari can't seal them fast, the whole foundation might come crumbling down before the season even hits its halfway mark. Stick with us. We'll be covering every twist and turn of this story as it develops. And trust me, This saga is only just beginning. Let's not kid ourselves. Ferrari has never been a stranger to internal turmoil. For all its legacy, prestige, and heritage, chaos often lurks beneath the surface in Maranello. Just last season, the team narrowly lost the Constructors' Championship to McLaren by a razor-thin margin of 14 points. Heading into 2025, Ferrari came armed with renewed ambition, a fresh strategic focus, and, above all, sky-high expectations to finally turn the tide. The arrival of Lewis Hamilton was meant to signal the dawn of a new era, a revival, a rebirth, a reset. But instead of ushering in a golden chapter, Hamilton's presence has unintentionally exposed an entirely new layer of problems. Deeper, more nuanced, and potentially far more dangerous than anyone at Ferrari had anticipated. And the headaches haven't stopped mounting. In fact, questions surrounding Ferrari's SF-25 machine started swirling earlier in the season, long before Suzuka. In Shanghai, both Hamilton and Charles Leclerc were disqualified post-race, a devastating blow that raised eyebrows across the paddock. Hamilton was penalized for excessive wear on the skid block, a part of the floor that helps regulate ride height, while Leclerc's offense was even more alarming. His car failed the minimum weight requirement. Those two infractions weren't random. They pointed to something bigger: fundamental setup flaws, potential miscalculations in ride height, and overall fragility in component performance. In simpler terms, the SF-25 might already be operating on the razor's edge of legality and reliability. That's a precarious place to be for any team hoping to fight for championships. Then came Suzuka, and with it, something even more telling. For the first time all year, Hamilton and Leclerc went in different directions with their car setups. Leclerc played it safe, opting for a familiar configuration he'd used before. Hamilton, however, took a different route. He gambled. He deviated. It was a calculated risk, a sign of a driver searching for answers that seemingly haven't been found on his side of the garage. And the result? Another underwhelming finish for Hamilton. Once again, he trailed far behind Leclerc. But this wasn't just another bad weekend. The body language, the radio messages, the tension in the post-race interviews. It all painted the picture of a deeper, more systemic issue that's been simmering ever since Bahrain. Speaking of Bahrain, that's where Ferrari now hopes to hit the reset button. For the first time this season, the team is rolling out a substantial upgrade to the SF-25, a redesigned floor. In theory, this new floor should help stabilize the car and deliver more predictable performance across varying track conditions. It's Ferrari's first real attempt to address the underlying instability that's been haunting them since round one. And Bahrain won't be a regular weekend. It will also feature Ferrari's junior talent, Dino Beganovic, stepping in to drive Leclerc's car during FP1. Meanwhile, Hamilton will get first crack at testing the new floor on his own machine, a crucial opportunity to determine whether this upgrade can finally lift the performance ceiling on his side of the garage. Hamilton, for his part, was cautiously optimistic when addressing the media in the days leading up to the race. The team has put in a tremendous amount of effort to bring these updates. This weekend might be a step forward for us, but we know it's not going to be a magic bullet. It's about moving in the right direction. But perhaps the most telling moment wasn't about the upgrades, the data, or the lap times. It was something more personal. Hamilton made a rare admission, one that caught everyone off guard. He openly acknowledged that he's been studying Leclerc, watching how the Monégasque sets up his car, how he communicates with his engineers, and how he tackles troubleshooting. Coming from a driver with Hamilton's resume, 7 world titles, over 100 wins, such a statement speaks volumes. It shows that despite the tension and the challenges, there is mutual respect, a desire to learn, a hunger to improve. And yet, no amount of mutual admiration can paper over the harsh reality. Ferrari is currently fielding a car that's not allowing both of its drivers to tap into the same level of performance. If Hamilton continues to deal with erratic behavior, inconsistent handling, or unreliable components, the long-term consequences could be dire. For him, for the team, and for the entire trajectory of Ferrari's season. This isn't just a team in transition. It's a team walking a tightrope. And right now, the wind is blowing hard. We're not just talking about race results here. This goes deeper. This is about trust. Trust within the team. Trust in the process. Trust that Lewis Hamilton, in this brand new chapter of his legendary career, is actually being given the tools he needs to succeed. The real question is whether this highly anticipated move to Ferrari is bringing him closer to that elusive 8th World Championship, or pulling him even further away. Because, let's be clear, Ferrari can't afford another fractured campaign. Not with McLaren looking sharper than ever. Not with Red Bull slowly regaining its momentum. And especially not after recruiting one of the greatest drivers in the history of the sport with the bold promise of a renaissance. This was supposed to be the turning point. And yet, as we look past Bahrain, a much larger storyline begins to unfold. One that could shape not only Ferrari's fate this season, but potentially Hamilton's entire future within the team. If this weekend proves to be a turning point, if the new floor upgrade delivers as promised, giving the SF-25 more stability, consistency, and performance, it could change everything. A successful upgrade would be a powerful message. It would signal that Ferrari's engineering department, after months of pressure and scrutiny, has finally started to unlock the car's full potential. And for Hamilton, it would reignite the belief that this move wasn't just about legacy or symbolism, it was about winning. About strategy. About writing one more historic chapter. But if Bahrain doesn't bring meaningful progress, if Hamilton continues to trail behind Leclerc, still struggling with inconsistency or feeling disconnected from the car's feedback, then serious questions will begin to swirl. Questions about internal priorities. About the consistency of engineering. About how a team with Ferrari's budget and pedigree can put two fundamentally different cars on the same track. And maybe most of all, questions about how much longer a proven winner like Hamilton, a ruthless competitor with nothing left to prove, will tolerate being part of an environment that doesn't seem fully geared toward empowering him. And remember, this isn't just about Bahrain. Miami is just around the corner, and Ferrari is already preparing another major upgrade for that race. What happens in Scuderia will set the tone for the coming weeks. A strong result now could finally give them the foundation they need to start closing the gap to McLaren and Red Bull. But if this upgrade flops, then Ferrari might be forced to reevaluate everything, from their development strategy to the internal dynamics of the garage, to how they manage two elite drivers heading in increasingly different directions. At this point, we're not just talking about setups or floor stiffness anymore. This is about Ferrari's identity. Are they truly ready to evolve into a team capable of building a car tailored to Hamilton's unique driving style? Or are they still shackled to old habits and outdated assumptions that continue to hold them back? That's why this weekend matters so much. It's more than a race. It's a referendum on whether Ferrari is really building a two-car team, or if, deep down, they're still operating with an imbalance that could doom yet another campaign. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Is this all just part of the natural adjustment phase between Hamilton and Ferrari? Or are we already seeing the cracks form beneath the surface? Could this new floor finally level the playing field? Or are we watching Charles Leclerc quietly become the de facto number one while Hamilton fights his battles alone? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm reading everything as always, and I genuinely want to hear your perspective. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay plugged in to every twist and turn of this unpredictable 2025 season, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new story drops. Also, check out my second channel, links down in the description, where I'm posting tons of exclusive F1 content you won't find anywhere else. In-depth technical breakdowns, team politics, and much more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.